Okay, guys, so welcome in. And today we're going to talk about Little Fires Everywhere, Season 1, Episode 4. So, everything opens up in 1992, and we see Linda is in the delivery room having a baby. So, they didn't really say what was going on, but of course, because we know that she can't have children, that more than likely she either delivered a stillborn baby, had some type of surgery, or something went wrong, but it had to relate to her reproductive system. So what we'll pick up at after that, it shoots over to Elena and Bill. They're having a conversation at Linda's house with Linda's husband discussing BB. Remember, BB is the mother of the baby that Linda and Bill are trying to adopt. So BB and the situation is getting out of control. They're starting to panic. They're starting to understand what's going on. Why us? Why now? We've been doing this for so long with no hiccups, and then all of a sudden, bam, now this lady shows up out of nowhere. Nobody knows where she came from, and they're just trying to understand what's going on. So Elena being Elena, as we talked about last episode, or the last talk we had, condescending, not really considering someone else's feelings. And Elena is like, it's going to be okay. Don't worry about anything. And Linda is like, how many children do you have? And Elena's like, I have 4. And she's like, yeah, 4 healthy children that you birthed, that are yours, that no one can take away from you. So once again, Elena's caught kind of with egg on her face, looking kind of, I did it again, stuck my foot in my mouth. So as we leave from there, Elena and her husband, they're like, okay, the night is done, let's go. So Izzy is at Mia's house working on the art project. Now know that, remember in the last episode, Mia doesn't even let Pearl come in and work on anything. So for Izzy to come in and actually work on a project, that's a lot. And it's like, wow, the one thing that you and your daughter can bond on and have time with, you don't even give your own daughter that, but you give it to someone else. And granted, Izzy is a good child. She's a good kid. She wants to be loved. She's looking for love. And it just gives her an avenue to experience things and explore how she feels about things, because Mia listens to her. It's just heartbreaking because she's not sharing that with her own child. So as they're going along, Mia gets a call from BB, and it's cut short. And she tells Izzy that she can't let herself, she has to go. And Izzy is like, no, I'll come back. Please just don't shut me out, pretty much. And so Mia's like, okay, just let yourself in, and you can start on a project without me. Once again, I'm like, wow, like really? Like your own daughter is not able to even be in your art studio, but you're giving this girl full access. So that was a big thing, and that was a big turning point in Izzy's and Mia's relationship. So we move over to Lexi, Pearl, and Lexi's friend. They're all in Lexi's room doing what young girls do, talking about the sex. Lexi is talking about her experience, and she's just in awe of sex. You know how young teenage girls do. She's the experienced one, and so everybody else is curious. And so she's pretty much just giving them the rundown, or where they're going from there. So during that, Trip comes in and he's talking to Moody. Moody is feeling kind of down because he doesn't know how to get Pearl to have the feelings for him that he has for her. And he gets a little bit jealous because he feels like, at this point, I think all of them feel like they have a claim to it's almost like they have a stake in Pearl's affection to them. Like, she's the one black friend, so everybody wants to be her friend. I was her friend first. And then Moody is like, oh, why? She can't have more than one white friend. And, Moody is sincere about his affection towards Pearl, but everybody else is kind of using her for, I have a black friend card. And so to have a black friend card is like, everybody sees that I'm down. I have an understanding for what's going on in the black community, and this, and this. So they're kind of having a tug of war in this episode with Pearl's affection and friendship, and it's going to almost kind of come to a head. So we're at Mia and BB's job, where BB is caught stealing money. And she's saying that she's stealing the money because she needs a lawyer. And know that Mia asked her, well, how much is a lawyer? And she was like, $30,000. And so Mia's like, you really thought you could get $30,000 from stealing out of the cash register? Like, really? And but BB is so desperate to want to get to her baby. She's willing to steal from her job, scraps, minimum wage pay, to try to get up on the money that she needs to get an attorney for her baby. So Mia tells her, look, just wait, we'll get the money. And BB is like, well, how are we going to get the money? And Mia said, just wait, I'll get you the money. And BB kind of tells Mia, you know, this is worse than it was before. I was kind of better off just thinking my baby was either dead or gone. And now that I know she's alive and I still can't have access to her, it's even worse. So they move on from that. And Elena, she's in denial about Izzy and her sexuality. So she's sending little messages, leaving things around the house for Izzy to be interested in. And Izzy's like, I'm not interested into these things. And she goes to her father to talk, and she's like, she's just doing these things on purpose. And her dad is like, look, she's just only concerned about you. And she's like, no, she's concerned about herself. So Izzy and her relationship with her mom are kind of going downhill really, really fast. So we swing over to Mia. And know that in the last episode, Mia wanted to sell some art pieces to help out BB with attorney fees. But what happened is that she told her, you don't have enough art pieces to get that kind of money, but you do have the one art piece that can get you that kind of money. And Mia was like, no, I'm not selling it. I'm just not going to do it. And so they said, okay. But Mia gets a call from Anita, and Anita's like, are you going to sell these pieces, or are you going to sell the piece? And she's like, well, I need $30,000. And Mia is just Anita is telling Mia, you know what you have to do to get that money. Either you're going to sell the one piece that's going to get you that money, or you just won't have the money. So, you know, Mia hangs up the phone. She's all torn in between. Do I want to sell this piece, or do I don't? Do I want to help this girl or not? And it's just amazing how she's taken so much care and consideration for BB when she's not even doing it for her own daughter. Know that they've been moving around all this girl's life, living out of a car, barely at times having a roof over their head, and then yet you have the avenue to give your daughter everything that she desires: a roof over her head, a nice car, a stable place to live. But you're considering doing this for a perfect stranger. So that's really, it made me kind of look at Mia in a weird type of way, because I'm like, your child should come first, and you really could have a comfortable life with your daughter, but you're just choosing not to because of what you're hiding. So there's a turning point in a relationship between Elena and Mia. So Elena arrives home, and Mia is at her house, and pulling up, Elena sees the bumper sticker on the back of Mia's car that was listed in the police report. And Mia has kind of a disdain or distrust or a bad taste in her mouth for Mia at this point. So Elena walks into the kitchen, and she confronts Mia about the issue with the baby. And they both kind of get to an impasse where it's like, this is not going to work for us. Because Mia's thing is, that's not Linda's baby. It's BB's baby. And right, Leanne is saying that she's doing all that for BB, because going back to the point of going to sell this photo this artwork that's so near and dear to her. She's doing it out of guilt. It hit home to her because of what she was going through with Pearl, and so the guilt is really kicking in on her right now. She's like, well, if I couldn't do it for my child, I'll do it for somebody else's child, which is still not a reason to do something when your child is still in need of some things. I get it, but I don't understand, because as a mother, I have to put the needs of my child before I put the needs of a stranger's child first. It's just plain and simple. So that was just really weird on how she just, to me, is just throwing everything out the window when it comes to BB, and she's not even taking it on chance with her daughter. So Lexi, Pearl, and all the other friends are getting together. It's kind of like a Halloween party, and Trip is telling Moody how he could get further along with Mia. Like his mindset is treat her like crap. Most girls like guys that are a-holes, and in some truth, it's some truth in that. But he's saying just don't talk to her, just ignore her, and I promise you by the end of the night she'll come over and she'll talk to you. And Moody is like, Trip, I don't think that's a good idea. And he was like, okay, well then just keep chasing after a girl that's out of your league. And then so the brothers are kind of like, out of my league, or is she out of your league? So they're kind of having a little back and forth, and Moody's like, look, do what you want to do. You asked me, I'm trying to help you. You know, I've been there, done that. I understand how it goes. So take the advice or you don't take the advice. So we switch over to Izzy is at Mia's, and she's starting the project. And it's just strange to see how Izzy is just taking on channeling her inner Mia. She has her headphones in. She's really in tune to what she's doing, how she's laying the artwork, and she's very meticulous, just like Mia would do it. And it's really kind of good to see Izzy in a good place, because she's like that. She's the last child, and she's the child that really Elena struggled with having, and so she feels that doesn't have that love that she feels like she should have with her mother. And she's kind of channeling that through Mia. So it's very interesting to see Izzy in a good place. She's a good kid, and I want the best for her. And it's just heartbreaking when you're trying to fit in and it just doesn't work. So we're at Elena's house. It's Halloween. The kids are getting candy. She's passing out candy. And Bill is there with her. And Bill is wanting to get a little frisky and, you know, different things like that. But Elena takes the atmosphere to talk about Mia, and she talks about how Mia, you know, is now starting to treat her different. She can see that there's a difference in how Mia is actually treating her. And so her husband Bill is like, you're just really obsessed with this girl at this moment. You're fixated on her. You know, every waking moment is Mia, 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 Mia. He's like, give it a break, give it a rest. Leanne, she's not the husband child, so her mom doesn't love her. That's why she gets treated different. That's an interesting thought, because later on in the series we'll get introduced to Elena's ex-boyfriend, and Elena did have a couple of flings with her ex-boyfriend. And we'll talk about that later on when Elena finds out she's pregnant, how all that starts to weigh on her about having another child, her career, everything. And we'll talk about that later. But Leanne, that is a good point, because I never thought about it that way. She could be having some resentment towards Izzy, whether it be she's her ex's child, or she stopped Elena for having some of the things that she wanted to have. So Elena says that it's just instinct on how she feels about Mia, and she thinks that Mia has something to do with Linda and Mark and the baby situation. She can't prove it, she can't really say how, but she knows she's involved. Now remember, last episode she went to Mia's job. When she went to Mia's job, she didn't see BB, she just saw Mia. So this moves us a little forward, and Elena goes to, and what Elena tells her husband is, I need you to make an order, which is at the Lucky Palace. He calls in an order. So Elena goes to the Lucky Palace, and guess who she sees? Not only does she see Mia, but she sees Bibi. And she is in shock. Mia is like being very smart and sarcastic, and is like, order for Bill. And so Elena is standing there like, okay, I got you. Now remember, Elena is the it girl in this community. She knows everybody. She knows everything that happens. So Elena calls the manager of the Lucky Palace, and she poses as a reporter to get information for Bibi, but he hesitates to give her information. Then she calls him out saying, I know that you posed for Mia as a reference, so I know you lied on her behalf. And so he's kind of shook and like, okay, I'm caught. So she's like, so I want all the information you have on Bibi. And so he has no other choice but to tell it, because he thinks he's going to get in trouble for taking up for Mia, lying for her, and things to this effect. So Elena goes to speak with Linda to comfort her and told her she found the baby's mother and that she's trying to hire a lawyer. So Linda's all irate now. I'm like, dang, Elena, maybe some stuff you need to keep to yourself, because you think you're helping, but you're not helping. So it's like, girl, just let it go. But Elena is all-knowing. She's, you know, the rich, middle-class white woman, upper-class white woman. She's going to make it better. This is her friend. I'm going to fix it. So Linda makes it a point to downgrade or denigrate or just talk bad about Bibi, saying, what type of mother is she? She's probably an illegal alien, and that makes her a bad mother, and she left her child out in the cold. And I'm like, how often do people do that? Just because you're poor, just because you're poor, just because you're having hard times, even an illegal immigrant, does not make you a bad mother. It just means that you're having it harder than most. And Elena is just amen in her and thinks like, I can fix it. I'll take care of it. And then she's like, how are you going to take care of it, Elena? Because now she doesn't know the full connection between Mia and Elena and Bibi. And so Elena says, where's your husband's checkbook? Where's the checkbook? So you know what that means. You're going to try to bribe this lady to give up her baby. Right, Leanne. She felt at fault because she brought her around. And to a degree, yes. But to a degree, no. Because the thing is, if I bring somebody into a group of people and this person has ill intentions towards somebody else, or it turns there, it's not my fault. It's not on me to make sure that I do a background check to make sure this woman has no ill feelings towards my friends. But I get where Elena is coming from. But in trying to fix it, she's making everything worse. I think if Elena would have just sat back and let the process roll, that it would have came out better and she wouldn't be so much in the middle. So as we're moving forward, Pearl and Trip are studying, and Pearl kind of hits on Trip because she likes Trip more than she likes Moody. And so then they're kissing and touching, and then Pearl says, should we continue this in our room? And he's like, what? She was like, well, you know what? You do have the thing, a condom. And I was like, oh, Pearl, don't fall. But Pearl was the aggressor. And so Moody was like, okay. So they go in to have sex, and Moody, I think, couldn't perform. And he was like, it's all your fault. I've never had this problem before. Just like the guy, to blame the girl. You know my brother loves you. You know my brother likes you. And you made me do this. Like, nobody made you do anything. So Pearl is sitting there with egg on her face. She doesn't really even know if they actually had sex or not, because she's asking him, did we do it? Is that what it was? And I was like, girl, you don't even know. Oh my God. And I was like, heartbreaking. Your first experience, you don't even know if you had the experience. So she's sitting there looking all disheveled. And so we go back to Elena. She goes to Bibi's house trying to talk to her. And she tells Bibi, now you're over here with Linda saying she's a bad mother, but then you go to Bibi, you're a good mother. No one's taking that away from you. And then she tries to bribe the girl. She gives her the check, and Bibi is like, no. And then she's like, what, is it not enough? And BB is like, how many children did you say you had? And Elena was like, oh, I have 4. And smiles, you know, I have 4. And she's like, well, how much are your children worth to you? And so Elena, once again, has egg on her face because you're doing too much. You're doing too much, Elena. You went over there and you tried to bribe this girl. You're doing illegal things and you're trying intimidation factors. It's just too much. Pearl had been wanting him. Yes, Pearl had been wanting him because Pearl had that look in her eye. But then she realized quickly after the incident, after the encounter, that's not what she really wanted. So when Elena gets home, Mia's there, of course, because she still works for her. And Mia is like, Elena's like, why are you here? And Elena is like, what are you doing? Why are you here? Mia's like, I work here. You haven't fired me yet. So far as I know, I'm still employed. So then an argument breaks out. And Mia's like, you know, they're arguing about the child. And Mia's point of view is that's her baby. DNA is DNA. The girl had her baby. Things happen. You can't take that away from her. And Elena's stance is she's not a good mother. She left the baby. The baby was left in the cold. She ran off. She can't feed the baby. Can't take care of it. Just like Michael Jackson said, you can't feed the baby. Don't have the baby. You know, it was, and they were just butting heads. And then Elena had the nerve to tell Mia that she was a bad mom. I thought Mia was gonna snap up. Mia was like, I'm a good mother. And she was like, you've always had good choices. You made good choices because you had good choices. And it rings home to a lot of single mothers, especially poor single mothers, regardless of race. You make the best decision with what you have. If you have 1 cheeseburger and 4 kids, you may have to slice that burger 4 times to feed those kids, and you have to go hungry. But Elena does not understand that. She's an upper class white woman, has everything in her fingers. Everybody loves her. What hard decisions has she ever had to make? All the decisions that she had to make were good decisions because she had it laid out for her. So, you know, and Elena and Mia made it. Elena felt like, I've always been good to you. I thought we were friends. And Mia was like, girl, we ain't never been friends. We stopped being friends when you asked me to be your maid. So don't come to me all of a sudden trying to play the friend card. We're friends. We're friends. Girl, you asked me to be your maid. And Elena's thing was, I was trying to help you. And it was like, girl, bye. So she knows nothing about the struggle. White privilege. Exactly. White privilege, a lot of us, we experience it every day, at least once a month, once a week, once a day, where people just automatically think, like, why would you do that? And it's like, because I had no choice. Why would you go and rob a convenience store? Because my children don't have anything to eat. Why are you stripping? Because I got to put a roof over our heads. Well, why? Well, you're not a good mother because you're never at home with your kids. I work 3 jobs so that my kids can have food, shelter, clothes, and be able to wake up with some sense of stability. And so that really irks me, because when people don't understand the struggle and it's a black and white or a rich or poor thing, it really does take people to another level. And so, like I said, white women problems, black women problems. So they shoot over and everybody's sitting at the dinner table, and you have everybody's talking about Mia. Elena's saying that Mia has gotten fired, and Izzy is hurt and broken and upset. The husband is like, well, you know they got to move out. And then everybody at the table feels like they have a stake in this relationship. The kids are like, well, Izzy is like, I'm hurt. And Elena's like, you shouldn't be. Like, girl, forget your feelings. But Lexi is hurt. And she was like, oh, well, Pearl is still your friend. She'll still be able to come over. It's okay. And Izzy's like, oh, she can be hurt, but I can't. You don't even really know her. She was like, well, I'm more of a friend to her than you are. And then Trip is like, well, I hang out with her more. And then Moody is like, well, I made friends with her first. So it's like everybody got a stake in being Pearl's friend. The only black girl she our friend and we stay claim to her. So it's like, okay, that whole conversation happened. I was over it. I was like, girl, and poor little Pearl, she doesn't even understand that you're just a pawn in their game. Not only that, Izzy took Pearl's story that she had to write an essay on and use it to get into Yale. And it's like, and even Izzy's boyfriend told Pearl, aren't you offended by that? Pearl was like, why should I be? What's wrong? And it's like, girl, you just blinded by the glitz, the glamour, the comfort, everything. It's just too much. So Mia and Pearl are having dinner, and Pearl is mad and doesn't understand why Mia hasn't given her a better life. You're putting all this time and energy into BB and her baby, like I said earlier, but what we have is second nature to you. You don't mind having me living out of a car. You don't mind having me sitting, getting dressed and taking wash-ups in a bathroom at a gas station. So I felt Pearl in that moment. Pearl was really heartbroken. So, you know, Mia doesn't have a comeback for that. But then the doorbell rings and it's BB. So she interrupts that whole conversation. So Pearl goes over to Elena. She's all broken up. She's heartbroken. And Elena comforts her. She comforts her just like Mia comforts Izzy in their own way. Pearl is looking for a mother figure, which is loving and caring and security, and that's what Elena gives. Izzy is looking for a mother that looks after her, that takes care of her, that listens to her, and that's what Mia offers. So each child gets something that they're needing from the opposite parent. And so after Pearl is talking with BB, and she figures out, I have to sell this painting. So Mia knows deep down inside this is going to break her, because she said she would never, ever, ever sell that painting. So Mia tells BB to keep fighting. I'm going to get you the money. And we know that getting the money is selling the painting. So Mia is packing up the portrait. She's in tears. She's heartbroken. She's hurting. And so she realizes that she goes to Pearl's room. Pearl is not there. And so she drives to Elena's house because she knows that's where Pearl is. Pearl, at the same time, is putting on some of Lizzie's night clothes. And she's like, is this going to be okay? And Elena's like, yeah, no problem. Izzy sees that. And it's kind of heartbreaking for Izzy, because that's what Izzy wants. She wants her mother to be attentive to her, just like she's being attentive to Pearl. Like I said, they're exchanging mothers. And so Mia sells the portrait and she gets the money for BB. They just get an update. Deborah, absolutely. I'm on. Okay. Hey, Deborah. So, she sells the portrait. They meet with the attorney. He kind of tells them where they're going and things to that effect. So the news has gotten a hold of it. Reports are everywhere. Everybody is understanding that this rich white family is trying to take this poor Asian girl's baby. And they're trying to get an interview from Linda. Linda is going berserk. They're trying to get an interview from BB. BB is not having it. BB just says, I want my baby. And so this is where it's going to kick off and start going with the custody battle. So right now, we're at the end. BB also tells the news people that they offered her $10,000 for her baby. And then it shoots over to Elena, her husband, and Izzy, and he looks at Elena because he knows she did it. He knows. And Izzy knew right off the bat. She was like, you guys tried to buy her baby? You tried to buy her baby. Izzy was just done. And so, hey, thank you. And so Elena, once again, egg on her face, because where she feels she's trying to make things better, of course she's making it worse. So the artwork, after BB tells them that, they go back to Mia and it shows the artwork and Lizzie and Mia working on this picture. And it's very interesting that Mia is working on a huge picture of Elena, which is very creepy. And the way she's looking at the picture. And she has the picture, is huge, and it's about probably bigger than my backdrop, and it's in strips. And it was very ironic because Izzy put the picture together. And I'm like, could she not see that it was her own mother? It was not about BB. True. Elena didn't make that offer about BB. She made that offer about herself, trying to make things better. She knows that she brought Mia in. She felt guilty about that. She told her about the baby. She felt guilty about that. She couldn't get the girl to give up the baby. She felt guilty about that. She tried to bribe the girl with the money. She felt guilty about that. So everything she's doing is her own guilt. She's not thinking about anybody else but herself. And that's why it keeps getting worse, because Elena, once again, will not leave it alone. So, absolutely, look, Elena is Miss Fix It. I think I can fix it. But at the end of the day, she's Miss Break It. Everything she puts her hands on, she breaks. So, Elena, stand down, but she can't. It's just part of who she is. And so, when they show the picture of the artwork, it's very interesting, because when she puts it together, you can see it's Elena, and she's taking these very slow and intentional pictures of the picture, and then she sets the picture on fire. And when she sets it on fire, she's taking pictures of it, and it's very, very creepy. I was like, okay, is this girl an undercover serial killer, or is she, is she undercover, just sick in the head type of person? So it makes you look at Mia to, kind of sideways. And I was like, and then you did this picture, you did all that, and you had her daughter helping you put the picture together. So, I mean, that's all I have for you guys. I'll give a couple more seconds for people who want to comment. Don't forget to go to my YouTube page. Not my YouTube page. Yeah, my YouTube page, and subscribe. I get a notification when you subscribe. And if you subscribe, I will enter your name into the drawing. We will have the drawing at 7:30. Don't forget to like and share this live video. Also, check out my other platforms. Instagram, the one and only Creative Concepts, and also my website, www.creativeconcepts-events.com. There are a lot of good things coming. And also, guys, let's be aware of the COVID. Let's do our part to stay safe. Stay in 6 feet apart. Wear your mask. Do your sanitizing. Make sure that everything that your state and government is asking of you, that you try to uphold. It's only going to be greater and better for all of us. So I don't see any more comments. Deborah, Leanne, if there's anything you want to say, we'll give it about a good, maybe another 30 seconds. But I want to thank you guys for chiming in. I want to thank you guys for watching. And I want to thank you guys for the support. Like I said, you're my guinea pigs, and we're going to take this platform to another level. Thanks, and have a great day.